September 26th, 2019. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 191 of You Can Bet On That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet On That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
So, Mike, on the last episode, we were talking about how Tara had hit her first royal flush recently. Mm-hmm. She held 3 cards and drew 2 to the royal. And you, Dr. Mike, wondered what were the chances of that happening versus getting 4 to the royal and drawing 1, or being dealt a royal, or keeping 2 and drawing 3. You know, how did that break down? Yeah, right. You know, how did those percentages break down? And since I didn't have the numbers right in front of me, I kind of made fun of you and said, well, it's easier to get a royal if you're only drawing 1 compared to drawing 2, and it's easier if you're drawing 2 compared to drawing 3, and et cetera. Mm-hmm. Well, listener Jeremy thought I was being too hard on you.
He's a good man.
Making it sound like I was telling you something you didn't already know.
Right, I already knew that.
So I'm going to try to kind of answer your question. It's not going to be complete, but at least I can give you some numbers, okay? All right. So if you're only drawing 1 card to the royal, you have a 1 in 47 chance. That's pretty obvious, right? 47 cards left. There's only one that gives you the royal, 1 in 47.
Right.
If you're drawing 2 cards to the royal, it's 1 in 1,081. If you're drawing 3 cards to the royal, it's 1 in 16,215. And if you're drawing 4 cards to the royal, it's 1 in 178,365. Now, if you get rid of all your cards to draw to a royal, it's a little more complicated to figure out. You'd think it'd actually be easy, right? You're getting rid of 5 cards, and it's just, what are the chances?
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you're playing correct basic strategy for jacks or better, there are going to be some times when you're discarding a royal flush card, specifically a 10.
Right.
And you're not going to get rid of jack or higher, but sometimes you're going to be getting rid of a 10. Sometimes not. Sometimes, you're just getting rid of, a 9 high, but sometimes you're getting rid of that 10. And when you do get rid of a single 10...
Yeah, it's 1 less royal you can get.
1 less royal, right. If you get rid of the 10 of hearts, you can't make the heart royal flush, obviously. You can only make 3.
I gotcha.
So it's just too complicated to figure out.
All right,
yeah,
I gotcha.
Right, yeah. But really, I think the question that you were asking was not those numbers I just gave you. It's just like, what is the most common way people make a royal?
That is the question. Like, what do you think would be the most common? Would it be
drawing 2, drawing 1?
Right.
But the thing is, if you're drawing 1, well, that means you've been dealt 4 already, and that doesn't come up as often as drawing 2. Right. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
that was really what you were asking.
It would seem to me that you usually would go for the royal when you're dealt 3. So I would think that getting 3 to the royal already, like you have the ace, king, queen, more royals are made that way than any other way.
Than if you're drawing 1, because you don't have as many opportunities to only draw 1.
Right.
And
Yeah.
So, that's too complicated to figure out. Or I could. I just don't want to spend the time.
I got you.
And if I did, I'd want somebody to check my work. And I looked on the internet. I didn't dig real deep, but I couldn't find somebody who'd figured it out.
You've got all this time to answer emails.
Oh, yeah. All this time.
And do all this stuff while
I've got all this time.
I mean, you go to work specifically to do this stuff.
It takes me all day at work just to get these show notes together. All right? I don't have time for any of this extra math.
Nobody from your work is listening. I mean, who's in like payroll department.
Hey, no, I had jury duty yesterday where I just sat around all day. That's when I did all this stuff. So
you should sign up for jury duty more. You'd be able to answer my questions.
More. Yeah. I'm going into jury duty again? Did you just go, Mark?
You weren't called. Why are you here? Oh, I have stuff to do today.
Anyway, Jeremy, thank you for calling me out on not just kind of making fun of Dr. Mike when he didn't deserve it, but also actually getting to what his question was. And I'm sorry I don't have the answer for you.
Well, I mean, I'm so used to being made fun of. It doesn't faze me at all. I just move right on. When I go to sleep, I don't worry about stuff like that.
Oh, good.
I worry more about, what happened the night before at the casino.
Yeah, it's not like you're getting a good night's sleep. You're just not worrying about this kind of stuff.
Not worried about that kind of... Being made fun of is nothing.
That's right. Well, as I predicted, the contest for identifying the new clip that we play at the end of the show is already over. We have a winner. Jim from New York correctly identified the new clip that we play at the end of the show as being from an episode of the TV show The New Adventures of Old Christine, starring Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And in fact, it's Julia that you hear in the clip. She's the one moaning.
She's getting a massage.
Well, sort of. Let me just talk about the show real quick. The show ran for 5 seasons from 2006 to 2010, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus played a single mom named Christine, whose ex-husband starts dating a much younger woman also named Christine. So Julia's character becomes known as Old Christine, and the new woman is New Christine.
I like the husband.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
ex-husband.
The husband is Clark Gregg from all the Avenger movies and Marvel's
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
on TV, right? Yeah. So, he's always good.
He's
He's
good.
particularly good in this.
Yeah,
it was
I
a
like
pretty
him.
funny show, multi-camera show. And
very
of course,
good show.
she's always funny.
She's funny.
Yeah. Well, in the episode the clip is from, Old Christine is having trouble sleeping. And when she gets up the next morning, she's really sore because of all the tossing and turning she did. So she goes to see her chiropractor, Dr. Mike. And the clip you hear is her reaction to Dr. Mike adjusting her back and neck.
You know, I never get that reaction when I go to the chiropractor. Now, a massage,
Yeah.
when I'm getting a massage, which I do frequently to help with my back, that does feel good.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You have reacted like Christine does when getting a massage,
Correct.
but not at the chiropractor.
Not at the chiropractor.
Okay.
Usually at the chiropractor, you're a little afraid your neck's going to snap in two.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And
All
so
right,
you're not screaming like...
So congratulations to Jim from New York. We sent him a $50 Amazon gift card, and thanks to Jim, he actually made a bet for us that Julia Louis-Dreyfus would win the Emmy this year for Best Actress in a Comedy for her performance in Veep.
Yeah.
And as it turned out, she didn't win. She lost to Phoebe Waller-Bridge for her performance in Fleabag, which is very good too.
Yeah.
But Julia Louis-Dreyfus was kind of the favorite.
She was the favorite. I thought we had that in the bag.
She was, but
I'll tell
I
ya.
think a lot of it is she has won so many Emmys.
Right,
She
right.
won some for Old Christine. So
Right,
yeah, and for
right.
Veep. So I think that might have had something to do
that
with it.
probably
yeah.
had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got to thank Jim for that.
Yes.
But boy, I wished his Emmy picks were better.
I wish any of her. He's actually made several bets for us recently, and unfortunately, he's been betting on San Diego or previously San Diego-based teams.
Jim
And,
from New York, make a bet for us on the Yankees.
Something actually.
Yeah, something we can actually win. Actually, don't make any more bets for us. It's probably not Jim, it's us.
We appreciate it, Jim. Thank
We
you
do.
very much. All right, a little news. So, the Washington State Gambling Commission is asking for the public's help in finding a group of men who are accused of dice sliding at craps tables throughout the state. Mike, did you see this video?
I saw the
sent it to you.
video. Yeah.
We've always wondered how dice sliding works because we hear about it. It's like, what? Sliding the dice? How would
Yeah.
you not see that?
Right.
But they do have a video of
It's
it.
not so much sliding. That's kind of a misnomer because he actually throws the dice, but he throws it in a way that it doesn't rotate.
Well, one die
One die.
is like being slid. The other one actually is
It's
a legitimate
regular
roll, hits the back wall.
But the one that's sliding, so-called sliding, isn't actually sliding along the table. It's just not spinning.
So that it's going to stay, on the number that's
Right.
face up. And when you watch the video, what the guy does, he's standing left of the stick. And the dice have already been pushed to him. And at the last minute, he makes a hop bet. He throws a chip to the boxman.
Right, to kind of distract them so
to-
they're
for
not
some
watching
distracting,
his throw.
right? And he's betting a hot bet on a hard 10.
Right.
And when he throws the dice, one of them he's throwing such a way, again, so it doesn't spin and it just stays face up. And that's a 5.
Right.
The other one, is actually going and hitting the back wall and bouncing back. So it looks, if you look just very quickly, it looks like a legitimate roll. But now, because he knows one of the dice is going to be a 5 up, he's got a 1 in 6 chance
Right.
of hitting that hard 10, and he's going to be paid 30 to 1 on that hot bet.
Yeah, but
So-
in the article that I read, if I read that correctly, supposedly he also had a hard 10 bet.
Yeah,
and that's what they were
no,
wearing.
I looked at that article, Mike, and the guy who wrote the article is wrong.
Okay, because he said 7-1.
Right. He mentioned 7-1, but if you actually look at the video, and maybe he did have a hard 10 bet,
right.
But if you look at the video, he's very specifically making a hot bet.
Yeah, I see him make the hot
box.
bet.
You can see the boxman actually put the hot bet, in the right spot.
Yeah, I see the hot bet, but I'm thinking, well, did he have a $100 hard 10?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he did, but I think that's just honestly just the reporter just doesn't know enough about the game to know what was actually
probably
happening.
just looked up hard 10 and saw it paid 7-1 because he says it pays 7-1, and I'm like, well, then he must have a hard way bet.
And he could have, but it's really the hot bet that's making him some money. So I thought it was pretty interesting. It was certainly not what I expected to see, and I know that they can probably zoom in on things, but if I were just seeing this, I would have been fooled.
Yeah,
I would have been fooled.
Sure.
So, yeah.
We talked about this earlier. I have a lot of questions because I just don't know how often you can do this
right,
and get away with it. And what do you do when the dice are does he only go to tables where there's like him and his buddy and maybe one other person or something?
Probably. He's probably looking for a table that's not too crowded, because that's the other thing. If you're sliding the dice, you don't want a lot of chips on the table, too. So,
that's what I was thinking about. If he's sliding the other way and there were people making field bets and come bets and all this and that, you can't slide them, right?
Yeah, right.
So he has to find the right situation, the right time, people that are distracted, dealers that are distracted, maybe not paying attention. Yeah. Seems like an awfully hard way to make a living. I mean, get a job, okay? Because that seems to me like that'd be way easier.
I'm sure it takes a lot of practice. You have to scout out, your locations. Right. And here, they got caught.
Right.
So, I mean.
And if you go to work every day and somebody catches you working, they're like, good for you.
That's right.
I mean, you're not going to prison.
Right. They don't go on the local media and say, we need your help in finding this guy that works for us every day.
Dr. Mike works 6 days a week. What is his problem? No, I mean, seriously, it just seems like a lot of work for maybe not a lot of money.
Well, and it's very risky too.
Yeah, it's kind of like robbing a liquor store or a bank. I mean, a lot of risk involved in everything for probably not that much money.
I don't know. In this article, I think they said that from all the casinos in Washington State, they made like $25,000, probably more than that.
Yeah.
That's how much they were caught, cheating. So, but
it's still not worth it.
No,
I mean, if you're going to be a good criminal, be a good criminal. Do a lottery scam where you can win millions of dollars.
That's right. Put some lines of code in there.
Lines of code, win millions of dollars, and then, go to some island and hide. That's what you do.
Well, maybe people have, Mike. The good criminals have. Okay, we haven't heard of them.
We don't know.
That's right. There are a lot of dice sliders out there who are making millions.
The good criminals don't get caught.
That's right. Anyway, I will post a link to the article from Channel 13 in Seattle, and you can actually take a look at
It's definitely worth a look.
Yeah, I think so.
It's definitely worth a look.
Yeah. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, we got a lot of phone calls. Let's get to the first one from Glenn.
Hey, guys, this is Glenn from the Bay Area, California, and just wanted to say, really love your guys' show. Wanted to get your guys' thoughts on dice control. You guys may have talked about this in past podcasts, but want to get your thoughts on your feelings of, is that something you guys try and do when you guys throw? Do you guys believe in it when you guys see people roll up to the table and try and throw the way they do? The reason I ask is I've been trying to learn the technique over the past couple of years and had some pretty good rolls of the tune of 15, 20-minute rolls, but up until recently I had one that was just over an hour and won a good chunk of money, and kind of just felt in the zone where I was just focused on the dice, the table, the back wall, and I was just hitting numbers. I actually hit all the numbers, the all bonus bet. So want to get your thoughts on it. Keep up the good work, and really appreciate what you guys are doing for the recreational gambling community. All right, take care, fellas.
We do not believe in dice control or dice influencing or being in a rhythm at the table, any of that. We can't prove that it doesn't exist. So we don't like to get into discussions about it, arguments about it, because we can't prove it doesn't exist. But no, we don't believe in it.
Here's an interesting thing. Here's my take. When he's talking about, having some good rolls, some 15, 20-minute rolls, and then having an hour roll, you or I, neither one of us consistently throw the dice the same way.
No, that's true for us. Yes.
Yes, we change, I mean, sometimes I set it to a number. Sometimes I just pick them up and throw them.
right.
I do different things, and it has nothing to do with thinking that that's going to change anything. It's just fun to do something
fun.
different. Now, that being said, we have both had monster long rolls.
Huge rolls.
Yeah, huge rolls. Remember that one afternoon where I rolled forever and they were chanting Dr. Mike?
Yeah.
Dr. Mike,
Oh my gosh.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, a huge monster hour roll.
Yeah.
We're not dice influencing or anything.
No.
So if you play enough craps, you're going to have a lot of immediate 7 outs that you roll. You're also going to have quite a few great rolls, and then some rolls in between. You're going to get the whole spectrum of rolls.
Yeah.
So it's hard when somebody says, oh, I control the dice. Now, if they could document and say to me, look, every time I roll, I make 4 points.
That's the thing is the sample size is very small.
Well, right.
And for a lot of these claims are based on small sample sizes. And you'll hear, I rolled 600 times and here's how many. Well, 600 rolls. That's not a big sample size. That's a small sample size when you're talking about rolling 6-sided dice.
We recently had a guy telling us about 7s on a stick change.
And how they come up a lot more.
How they come up a lot. And he said his friend tracked it. And what did he say? It was like,
I don't know. I didn't believe what he was saying.
It was like 500 or 600 rolls. And he said, that's a huge amount of rolls. And I'm like, no, that's not. I mean, Mark runs you run a simulation on your computer. You do it like 1 million plus rolls.
Right, to get the data
just to even get somewhat accurate data.
Now, Glenn, we know what you're talking about. I know that feeling of just being in the zone. It's like, send me the dice. You have that feeling.
Right.
It's a false feeling, ultimately, but it's part of the fun of playing craps and gambling.
I like the rhythm thing. I mean, for me, when there's a rhythm, when it's like, boom, we pay real quick, we slide the dice, he rolls them, we pay real quick, he slides the dice, he rolls them. Yeah. I always feel like we have good rolls when we're in a particular rhythm.
Yeah.
And when something breaks that rhythm, when there's a long delay or there's some argument or something, it seems like 7 comes up. Now, I know that makes no sense.
It's not true.
It's not true.
We're saying it seems that way, but it's not true.
It seems that way to us, and you get that feeling. It's just like, when Adolf walks up to your table.
Yeah, exactly.
And you think, oh, great, here comes the 7, and it does.
That's right. You call your bets off.
Right, but many times it doesn't. Yeah. And now you've been calling your bets off on stick changes and when dice go off the table and stuff. Yeah. Partly because, it limits your exposure.
That's the real reason.
Yeah, but and partly because it's fun.
I do find it fun. I know some people do not.
Yeah. But honestly, we keep a loose track of that.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's 50-50.
Well, I'd say it's 1 in 6. How about that? I'll give you that. All right. It's 1 in 6. Right. And when it does happen, I look all depressed like, oh, the table 7'd out. But inside, I've got this huge grin on my face knowing they're going to be pushing all these chips back to me.
And me, I'm the exact opposite. On the outside, I'm thinking, well, that's going to happen, 7 down. And on the inside, I am fuming.
Yeah, but you're thinking, I think Mark caused this by calling his bets off.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So anyway, that's our thing on dice control. But I'll say this, keep doing it.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't hurt.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're going to roll more 7s. But
right.
It's just going to still be the same.
Right.
If you believe in you're having fun, who are we to criticize?
Right. I like to throw the dice kind of hard and make them bounce around a lot. And I think most dice control people would say that's crazy.
That's not what you want to do, right?
That's exactly not what you want to do. Right.
All right. Next call.
Hi, guys. This is Matt from Erie, Pennsylvania. I just wanted to bring up an instance that happened at the blackjack table recently at Prescott Downs up in Erie. I've played blackjack pretty much every casino I go to, and I was dealt a blackjack, and the dealer had an ace showing. And I was waiting sort of after the insurance offer for the dealer to indicate to me if I wanted even money, because I feel that that's sort of what the dealers do. They'll ask for insurance and then they'll make eye contact with the player who has blackjack and say, do you want even money? And the player, almost always takes it. Well, at the most recent instance, there is no offer. You have to apparently ask for even money during the point where insurance is open. I was waiting for the dealer to indicate towards my blackjack or anything, and before I even had a chance to speak up, they checked for blackjack and they had it, and I lost my bet. I talked to the pit boss about it. They didn't seem to have anything to add other than the fact that they said that you have to ask for even money while insurance is open. And for a game that could be solely played just with hand gestures and no verbal cues, I find it odd that they insist that you must make a verbal cue to get paid on a blackjack with a dealer ace showing. Just didn't know if you had anything to add about that or heard about that elsewhere. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, let's talk about insurance and even money and all of this so that everybody's on the same page here. First, I want to say, though, that Matt probably misspoke. He said he lost his bet, but he pushed his bet, I'm sure is what happened, because he had blackjack and the dealer had blackjack.
Right.
He just didn't win anything.
Which would be a push
right.
in
That's
most
a
places.
Virtually everywhere, yes. Yeah. So, but let's talk. So, first of all, insurance. Insurance is a bet that is offered by the casino when the dealer's up card is an ace. It's a bet insuring against the dealer having a blackjack. The bet pays 2-1, and you bet half of what your regular bet is. Actually, you can bet anything up to half, but I mean, that's what most people do. And that's kind of the whole point behind insurance is the insurance bet is half of your regular bet. And if the dealer has blackjack, you get paid 2-1 on that bet, thus covering the bet that you're losing on your regular bet, right? So if you had $10 blackjack bet and the dealer had an ace showing, if you wanted insurance, you would put $5 out for your insurance bet, right? If the dealer doesn't have blackjack, you just lose the $5,
lose your
right?
$5.
But if the dealer does have blackjack, that insurance bet pays 2-1, $10. You lose your initial $10 bet, and you just broke even. Right. So that's really the idea behind insurance. So if you've got blackjack, remember, you're going to get paid 3-2. Hopefully, you're going to get paid 3-2. Right. If you want to take insurance when you have blackjack, same kind of thing. Say you've got $10 out there. You make a $5 insurance bet. Okay. If the dealer has blackjack, your initial bet is going to be a push,
right? But
you win the insurance bet. So a profit of $10.
So it's even money.
Even
what
money.
They call even money.
Right. If the dealer doesn't have blackjack, again, you've got blackjack, you make the $5 insurance bet.
Right.
The dealer doesn't have blackjack. You lose the $5 insurance bet, but your initial bet pays 3-2.
So you get 15, which is your 10 plus the 5 you lost
that
in
you
insurance.
Lost. Right. So a lot of times what players will do when they have blackjack and the dealer has an ace showing, they just say, give me even money, because no matter whether or not the dealer has blackjack,
right,
if you're making that insurance bet when you have blackjack, you're going to win $10. You're going to win even money.
Right.
Right.
Now, if you said no insurance and the dealer had blackjack and you had blackjack, it's a push.
Correct.
If you said no insurance and you had blackjack and the dealer did not have insurance, you'd win your $15.
Right. You get
win
paid
your
3-2. Right.
So most people don't want to take that chance of just pushing. So they said, okay, just give me even money.
Right.
That's kind of the standard.
So what Matt is saying is that when the dealer was asking for insurance from everybody else, the dealer should have, and this is what usually does happen, the dealer looks at somebody who already has blackjack and says, do you want even money?
Right.
And the player that has blackjack, they don't actually have to put out the insurance bet.
Right.
They don't have to go through that process.
Right.
They just get paid.
You can usually
even
verbally
money.
just say even money.
Right.
And they pay.
So that's really the difference is people who are taking insurance who don't have blackjack, they do need to make that bet.
Right.
But the player with blackjack who just says, hey, I just want even money, they just ask for even money. They don't have to put out the bet. So that's the real difference here. And I think that's kind of what happened here was, at least at this casino, does anybody want insurance? And maybe they were expecting Matt to actually put out the insurance bet.
Right.
Or at least say something without being prompted.
That could be one possible scenario. Or it could be that the dealer just had a mind fart there and just didn't see that he had blackjack.
That's very possible too. I think that's probably more likely.
That's more likely. That's
Yeah.
probably more likely because I can't imagine a casino having a situation where you're on a time frame or something.
It's an unfortunate situation, and I guess all we can say is that if you're a player and you want even money, make sure you ask for it right away and that it's clear. Now, one thing we should say is that really insurance is a bad bet. In the long run, it's really not a good bet. Unless you're counting cards and you know how many tens and face cards there. It's a bad bet. Despite what you might have heard on our April Fool's episode, insurance is a bad bet. Even when you have blackjack, it's a bad bet. The exception to that is if you happen to be at a 6-5 table and they're offering you even money when the dealer has an ace showing and you have blackjack, you should take that.
Right.
Because that's actually a good bet in that case. Because the best you can do at a 6-5 table is win 6-5 on that blackjack, not 3-2. So it turns out that the math is, so in that case, ask for even money, take your chips, and walk to a table that pays 3-2.
Right.
That's what you should do. If
Or
you're 6-5
don't
table.
put yourself in that bad position. It's like walking down a dark alley. Just go to the 3-2 table
to start
right
with.
off the bat.
Oh, that's good advice too. So, yeah, sorry that happened, Matt. But yeah, I think you're right, Mike. It's probably the dealer didn't even notice, and so they were just covering themselves. And
Right,
you know, yeah,
exactly. That I'd be willing to bet money that was the case.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. All right. Next up is Jared.
Hey, Dr. Mike and Dave. This is Jared from Nashville, Tennessee. And I want to tell you about a crazy situation I found myself in at the Wynn. I had a $400 free slot play, and I was able to turn that into like $282 in cash playing top dollars. And then I was like, all right, what can I keep growing my money on? So I went over to craps and I won like another 500. So I'm like up to $750 or $800 in cash. And so then I went over and played a Zorro machine, which is like an aristocrat machine. And that grew my money to $1,500 about. And then I saw one of those new Wheel of Fortune machines with a gold spin, and it jackpotted at $2,250. And so now I'm like way up, about $7,000. So then I came back the next day. I bought in the craps tables for like $3,000 and immediately started losing money. Halfway towards getting it all back, I get the all tall small down to the 9. And of course, all I had left in my rail was $1,800. So I laid the $1,800 against the 9, and about 5 rolls in, I hit it. The best news about it was I had $100 on the make 'em all bet. So I won $15,000, and there was another $100 wager on there as well. So it turns out the table lost about $50,000. So a net total of about $27,000 when it was all said and done. That's the second or third time visiting the Wynn that I've actually won money, and I'm kind of anxious not to return because now I think if I go back, it's going to just all go down. But anyways, I know you guys appreciate a good crap stories, and I'll keep them coming as long as I see them. So thanks. Always a good listener, and enjoy the podcast tremendously. Have a good one, guys.
Jared, I would never go back to the Wynn. For the rest of your life, you can say you hammered the Wynn.
Yeah, $100 on the all. That's nice.
Man,
Yeah.
I would never go. Honestly, Mark, I would never go back. There's no reason to ever go back there. You're never going to top that story.
Yeah.
You'll just eventually they'll get it all back. Take them for that. Don't ever go back to the Wynn. There's so many casinos to go to.
It is nice to be able to say that you are a winner over your entire life at a specific casino.
Yes,
right?
exactly. And every time you can get to that point, and it's a big win like that, just take it. Don't go back.
That's good. I agree. Well, nice little run, huh? From just starting with the little free players.
For a little free play, and he hits that. That's a great run. That's a charmed weekend.
Yep.
Unfortunate ending to that story, though, where he took all the money at the end and put it on the Chargers to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's rough.
That is rough. Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah.
But still don't go back to the Wynn, Jared.
All right, next call.
Hey guys, Tom in North Carolina. Just a quick update. Just returned from Detroit and had a couple nights at the MGM Grand. First time I've ever been there is a Monday night, and they actually had a $5 craps table. Cannot ever remember seeing a table limit that low in that casino. Ended up being a pretty good run. Shooter, probably a 45-minute roll. I was betting 3-point Molly, so it was a nice time for me because lots of 5s, 9s, collected probably 4 times my buy-in. Capped off the evening with a couple $100 win on a Wheel of Fortune machine, and even won another $60 playing video poker. So overall, a good trip. One thing about the MGM Grand, they are very close to opening their sports book. Actually, they just pulled down the construction walls while I was there. According to everybody in the casino, is within the next few days that should be open. So I hope to see you guys maybe do a Gamble Palooza into the Detroit area. I think that would actually be a great location. Keep up the good work. Talk to you soon. Thanks.
Yeah, maybe not a bad idea. Detroit and
Yeah, it's close
Caesars
to
Windsor too, right there.
Right,
So,
right. It's
yeah.
close to the border.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
All right. Okay. So 2022, Gamblepalooza. Vito, are you listening?
Poor Vito. You're gonna have Gamblepalooza mapped out. Vito's gonna be like 89 years old. I don't want to do another Gamblepalooza.
But we already planned it.
Mark's like
It's
sending him emails.
scheduled.
It's already scheduled, Vito. You got to do it.
All right. Let's hear from Nathan.
Hey, Mark, Dr. Mike. It's Nathan from Indianapolis. Big fan, guys. Just wanted to call and give you a trip report. Getting back from New Orleans and Biloxi. Stayed at the Harrah's down in Biloxi. Also went to the Golden Nugget. It's right next door. And Beau Rivage is the big one down there. It's about a mile down the beach. But overall, yeah, it was a fun trip. The one thing that I did notice, and I hope this doesn't become a trend, they combine in the casino the cashier and the players club. So the rewards area and the cashier becomes one place. So if you're cashing in your chips or if you need a new card or have a question about your comps or whatever, it's all the same line. And it caused it to move much slower because obviously the reward area seems to take longer than just cashing in chips quickly. So that was kind of frustrating when you wanted to cash things in. Yeah, they have sports books down there as well. So those are on the smaller side. They're pretty nice. No, they don't do any comp drinks or any sports bets there. Ask each place, and a couple of them looked at me weird, like they'd never even heard of it. And one person laughed, and the other places just shot me down and said no drink tickets. So I thought that was a little unusual. Probably not a big deal for you guys. I guess you don't drink other than your milkshake, so probably not that big of a deal. But overall, yeah, it was a fun trip. Great weather. And yeah, so I will talk to you later. Thanks, guys.
And Nathan called back. He wanted to emphasize that they do have comped drinks at the casino,
Right.
just not for sports bettors.
Right.
So
the only way a sports bettor can get a drink is to pony up some cash.
that's right. That's the only way. Or I guess to go make a bet at the blackjack table and order a drink and then go back to the sports book or something.
Yeah,
So-
I'd go stand next to the roulette wheel and just pretend like you're playing.
That's a good
And when
idea,
the
too,
waitress
yeah.
comes around, give me 8 Bud Lights, and then take them to the sports book.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand that you're supposed to be gambling a certain amount of money, and somebody could be sitting in the sports book just watching a game, getting a free beer or something. So don't give them Patron.
But if they're making a bet, give them a ticket or something like that. As long as it's something
bet, if they make a bet, I
Yeah.
mean, what's the minimum bet you're going to make?
yeah, that's true. Because you could be sitting at a slot and
Right.
going super slow, and the
right. You
cocktail
could be-
waitress
Yeah,
comes
you
around
could put
and,
$20 in a slot and go super slow and get a cocktail when they come around. So why not give the sports bettors a drink?
Yeah.
I'm seriously now. Don't give them the good stuff or something.
Sure,
but if a guy wants a beer or something or a glass of wine or whatever, I mean, that is so weird.
Yeah,
I just find that
when I
weird.
run the casino,
Yeah, when we have our casino, only sports bettors are going to get drinks.
Well, yes, we hate it when they combine the cashier with the rewards program.
Right.
That's terrible. It just makes for this big line. I think, first of all, they should be separate, and I think the cashiers should always have a chips only line for
Yes.
cashing in chips.
Right.
All cashiers should
Right.
have that too. Yeah.
There's logistics though involved in it, Mark, like, at late at night or, and not peak hours. You can't always have somebody, right?
For just chips only?
Just chips only.
No, I understand that, but certainly,
But certainly on a Saturday night, say from like 5 to midnight, there should be a line for chips only.
and the players club should be separate from the cashier, not just from a customer standpoint, but you've got to train
Right.
the people more, right, to be able to handle both situations. And I don't want to dump on cashiers and players club,
Attendance.
but a lot of times you go up and you ask questions and they don't know the answer, right?
Right.
Or you're,
Right.
so
Yeah, it's hard enough to train. Well, in any job, it's
Yeah.
hard enough to train somebody to do one thing.
Yeah.
To do multiple things like that is pretty rough.
yeah. All right, next call.
Good day, gentlemen. Loyal fan of the show. Really enjoy what you guys are doing. Just wanted to give you a quick report. My wife and I went over the weekend to MGM Detroit, went to the casino Thursday around 3 p.m. and was shocked at how high the table limits were. Couldn't find a craps table under 15, so I had to play at a $15 table, which is way above my limit, but thought I would try. Lost $140 in about 3 minutes. 2 shooters, 7 out immediately. I decided to pack up my losses and go. Lots of the other tables were $20 or more. Wife played slots for about an hour. We decided, let's go over across the border to Windsor, which I haven't been in about 20 years. Beautiful casino at Caesars. Everything's really nice. It looks fairly new. There's no smoking. Everybody there is really nice, as you would expect. $10 craps tables, they don't go below 10. Had a really good time. The dealers were fantastic. I played at one table for about an hour by myself and got pretty lucky that I was able to sustain that, since it goes really quickly when they just keep pushing the dice back to you. Eventually got 5 or 6 of us at the table. Finally saw my first 4-point fire bet. Actually made some money on it. It was a lot of fun. Always bet 2-way hard ways for myself and the dealer. Hit a couple of those, hit a parlay, was able to make $100. So that was nice. Made the dealer some money. It was a good time. Wife played a bit of slots, some high card flush. A lot of fun. Just a really great property. Probably my favorite Caesars property out there now. Thank you for all that you guys do. I really enjoy the stories in the show, and I look forward to the next episode. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so there's an example. Tom earlier said he was surprised to find $5 tables at MGM Grand Detroit, and then this caller, 15 was the lowest that you could find. So, yeah, different times, different days.
I wonder if you asked, he's not a regular or anything, but if someone went up and said, hey, could we open, if there's more tables available that aren't open, could we open up a table and make it 10?
It certainly doesn't hurt to ask,
right?
But I would say a lot of times they won't. Now, it's different if it's an empty table. Say it's 15 and say, hey, I'll play here if you lower it to 10.
Right.
Then
and
they might say
sometimes they don't even change the signage. They just say, fine, you can play 10.
Yes, right.
And then, other people come up or playing 15, but they let you play 10 and tell other people, oh, he's grandfathered or something. So my advice would be ask if you really want to, push it. Especially if you go to a place frequently. Yes. People should always do that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They said last night when I went out to Harrah's kind of late because I worked, but I had some free play that I wanted to get. I went out there and there was one table open and it was fairly full. And I said to a couple of the regular players, I said, God, just one table and look, it's full. Why don't they open up another one?
Yeah.
And they looked at me and they said, we were waiting for you to get here so you'd tell them to open another one. And they did.
Yeah, he's not kidding, folks. Dr. Mike has quite a bit of pull at
and they opened
Harrah's,
another
Southern
one
California.
at 9 o'clock at night, which was good because we needed it. It was too crowded.
Well,
it wasn't any good though.
You told me. Yeah. All right. Hey, let's hear from Julia.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Julia from Washington with a brief trip report on my recent trip to Las Vegas. This was a trip where I got a comp at the Excalibur, which was a real treat. I did still have to pay the resort fees, but still, no cost for the room. I was able to play craps 3 times, twice at the Cal, once where I lost about half my buy-in and then was like, okay, I'm done. And the next time I lost it all, tossed my last $3 to the dealers as tips. And then the third time, I finally got to play at Excalibur itself when on my last day, they dropped the table limits to my kind of table limit, which is $5. One of the things I noticed was that the good dealers get to know your bets. There was one super helpful lady at the Cal who, when she noticed I was placing come bets, would say, oh, do you want odds on that? And after I established a habit of placing the 6 and 8, if I didn't do it one time, she'd say, oh, did you want that 6 and 8? So that was nice. On a recent show, there was a mention of the Encore machines not giving change. I'm just giving you a voucher for 30 cents or 45 cents or whatever. At the Cosmo, I noticed that they would give you the option to donate your change to one of 4 nonprofit organizations. And I thought that was a pretty neat way to avoid having your pockets full of loose change at the end of the night. In general, I am still completely confused by the Dr. Mike type of bets. There were people betting on the 7, where it was written 7 in red on the table. The guy next to me was betting on that. I have no idea what that bet was. And likewise, a lot of the bets flying around the table. Really confusing, but, I'm happy where I am. Anyway, take care, you guys. Love the podcast as usual.
Julia, don't worry about those bets. Do not make the Dr. Mike bets. You don't want to be betting on any 7. And those are terrible bets. You know, Julia is a great success story because she definitely has some trepidation about playing the game. And, you know, she met us at Vegas Vacation and played with us. And now she's getting comped rooms at Excalibur and telling the dealers what she wants. Yeah, it's a success story.
It's a success story.
Yeah.
She should write a book.
My Craps Journey, although I think that's actually a podcast already. So
My Craps Journey. And he goes, you know, people won't know what it's about.
Yeah, that is good news at Cosmo about kind of the donation. If you don't want the change,
I like
go
that.
there.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, take a picture of your slip before you put it in so that you can
Write that off.
Write that off at the end along with your gambling winnings and losses.
Right.
I wonder, I'm not saying the Cosmo's doing anything untoward, but I wonder if they're claiming that as a donation when the people,
maybe you're right.
So I don't know, but yeah, at least it's going to a good
Yeah,
cause.
now great, you've got the IRS. They've got enough to investigate.
Great. It's my fault, right?
Yeah. You're banned from Cosmo for life.
So, yeah, good to hear still $5 tables at Excalibur.
Right.
And I like what Julie was talking about, dealers kind of recognizing your betting pattern, because good dealers will.
Right.
And I know one of your biggest pet peeves, Mike,
Yes.
is when dealers don't pick up on what you're doing, even though you do it over and over and over
I
again.
mean, Mark, we go to a table, we're there for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Hours. And I bet the exact same way the whole time. I never deviate.
You've got a lot of
Very
center
seldom.
action. I mean, you do.
And it's confusing. But, you know, most good dealers,
Mm-hmm.
after 2 or 3 times, figure out what you're doing.
Yes.
And they just put it out there.
Yeah.
And when you get somebody who doesn't, it's very...
And just never picks
and
up
just
on it.
never
Yeah.
picks
Yeah.
up on it. It's kind of frustrating. It's like, well, are you paying attention?
Yeah. Well, good dealers will recognize what you're doing and they'll be able to pick up on it to the point where all you have to do is throw your money down. They don't even ask what you want.
There are 2 things for me that make 3 things. There are 3 things that make a good dealer.
Okay.
In this order.
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
Number 1, courteous.
Okay.
That they're just
Good.
always courteous.
I
to
might
you.
agree with you that on number 1. Yep.
Number 2, they say thank you when you do something for them, like put a tip
like
down.
tipping. Okay. Yes.
Right? They always say thank you.
That's kind of part
Whether-
of being courteous, though.
well,
Wouldn't you say
yeah,
it's a little
okay. It's 1A.
Okay. All right.
So maybe there are only 2.
Okay.
But, you know, courteous, I mean, as in like helping you out and
Being friendly and-
talking and everything, and saying thank you when you make bets for them, whether they win or lose. When they pick it up, they should always say thank you. And then number 3 is learning how you play, so it makes the game go faster and easier for everybody.
Yeah.
Now, there are some people that's hard because they change, they bet different stuff all the time.
Sure.
But there are a lot of craps players, wouldn't you say, that bet the same thing every time.
I would say a lot of them do. Yeah.
And so a good dealer will pick up on that.
Yeah.
So
Good. All right. We haven't heard from Ian in a long time, and he's got some very interesting things to say about roulette at Casino Monte Carlo.
Hi, Mark, Dr. Mike. It's your Leicester correspondent here, Ian Dunk. Just thought I'd give you an update because I've just visited the Monte Carlo Casino, a beautiful historic building. It really is, in a lovely, typical European square with a queue of Ferraris, with people getting out, photographers there. It was honestly like a scene out of a film. The euro and the dollar are about similar, so you can think of this in dollar terms. It was 17 euros to get in, of which 10 you can use towards a drink or towards gambling, so quite cheap to get in. This was in the evening time. Had to wear a jacket, but that's no problem. It's not Vegas, you know, it's not the noise and the excitement. It's more subdued, but you are in a historic building. It's just an amazing place to visit. Relatively small, not huge by any stretch of the imagination. But there was a craps table there. Wasn't open at the time we went. That probably opens later in the evening. But we went to the roulette. There was a usual roulette table, but we decided to go to the French one. It's got all the French words on it and writing in a slightly different layout. Interestingly, there were 3 dealers, 2 at the head of the table and 1 sitting down at the bottom of the table. And all the players sit down in chairs. And you're provided with a rake. So you slide your chips to the numbers that you want. So if you're sitting, which I was, towards the bottom of the table next to the dealer, you get your little rake. Well, it's quite a large rake, actually, a bit like a stickman rake, and you slide your chips around the table. The chips are nothing like the Vegas style. They're sort of this plastic, transparent, €5 orange, €10 purple, and €50 green. So, placed my bets, sort of looked around the room, and then to my horror and surprise, I looked down at the table, and everyone is playing with the same colour. Everybody was playing with orange €5 chips. So the table was covered in orange chips. And of course, had a few drinks, bit excited. I couldn't remember where I'd put my bets. What they rely on, of course, is the three dealers and their vigilance and the player's honesty. And my number came up. I'd split it between four numbers, but I was sort of thought, well, is it or isn't it? And the guy sort of spoke to me in French, so I nodded, yes, it was mine, and a load of chips slid my way. So that was really interesting, and of course you've got to focus and you've got to remain vigilant after that. The other interesting final point really is a bit like on the James Bond, you know, you see these huge rectangular chips. Well, they were there, and obviously those with huge bankrolls would have these great big rectangular chips in front of them, rather like a James Bond film. So just fantastic, just to see everything. If anybody gets the chance to go to the Monte Carlo Casino, please take the opportunity. It is an amazing and unique experience. Thanks for all you do. Really appreciate it. It's always great fun listening to you. And I will phone back again in November because I'm taking a 2-week trip to Macau, and I'll give you some feedback from there. Thanks.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
You know, my brother had the same experience. He's just amazed at Monte Carlo. The thing is that I got to wonder, so they don't get a lot of drunks in there?
Why?
Well, I mean, would you give a drunk guy, everybody has the same chips, and you give him a rake? And you can imagine trying to push your chips, navigate around other people's chips, so that you get them in the right. I mean, you got to be pretty sober and with it.
Well, I don't. Ian didn't say that he was completely hammered. I think
no. I'm not talking about Ian. I'm talking about just, you know, in America how that would work.
Oh, with a bunch of sticks.
You know? Yeah, a bunch of drunk guys in Vegas with sticks.
It's a touch of class at Monte Carlo, Mike. Yeah,
I mean, obviously, because I mean, if you imagine that happening at let's just say Slots of Fun,
okay,
in Las Vegas, giving a bunch of guys sticks to shove things around. They're trying to, you know, drink their 84-ounce beer and they eat their 8-foot-long hot dog.
I would actually love to see this. I tried to find a video online. It didn't look too long, but I'd love to see this with all the players and the rakes and everything. Yeah. And we're used to roulette where every player gets their own colored chip so you can keep track.
Right, you have
to. But this must be something. Well, I guess 3 dealers, you know, they have to keep track.
Just thinking, you know, there's got to be, at some point, somebody has had to gone into that casino and got wasted and just, you know, can't remember where their chips are and they're raking and they're pushing other people's around and just the mayhem that would occur. Of course, if you're wearing a jacket, that's part of the thing, right? You paid to get in, you're wearing a jacket. Maybe
you're going to behave better.
Maybe you behave better, right?
It's just like a senior night at Disneyland, right? When you're in high school, they make you dress up so you behave better.
You behave better when you're dressed up. That's right. Maybe Vegas ought to instill that. Like,
go back to that age.
Jacket, please, sir.
That's right. Well, thanks for the report, Ian. Monte Carlo, Gamblepalooza 2022. So
2023. You've got 22 books.
Oh, I already had that?
Yeah.
I know, whatever. Okay, let's hear from Jimbo.
I'm still laughing because I'm just thinking about Vito calling Monte Carlo to see what events we can book for 2023. Who are you?
Hi, it's Jimbo from Maryland. Mark, Dr. Mike, how you doing? Finch listener, first-time caller. 2 trip reports for you. One, Hollywood Casino in Baltimore. I think this is a casino for you guys. 8 craps tables. However, at 5:30 in the morning, only 2 are open. Rolled by myself on a $25 table. They have the all tall, small, and the fire bed. 30 minutes on that table, I walked away $20 down after cashing in for $500. So, not bad. But I have 30 minutes left to waste at the casino, and I would have never gotten to the Pai Gow table, but after listening to Mark talk about how there's a lot of pushes and not so bad, I spent the next 30 minutes learning Pai Gow, ended the 30-minute session with $9 up, tipped the dealer 5, and put 2 for the dealer on the other 2 players as I left the table. So a good way to start the day when you couldn't sleep at night, and might as well go to the casino before you go to the office. But just left the Rocky Gap Casino in Cumberland, Maryland. Have the all tall small, rolled the small 3 times. It was only me and 2 other people at the table when the table opened up at 10 in the morning. decided to skip work and go roll some dice. So it was a good day. Total bankroll cashed in was $700, walked away $900, so $200 up. Thanks for putting out the podcast. Love listening to you guys to and from work. Kind of sad that I'm all caught up now. Been listening to you guys for a couple of months. Now the dreadful wait every 2 weeks for a podcast. Hope things are well. Hope to run into you sooner or later. All right, Jimbo out from Maryland.
Geez, I hope Jimbo doesn't lose his job.
Yeah,
he's going before work and skipping work. And
I hope his job isn't like, paramedic or emergency medical
Jimbo,
response.
where have you been? Boy, yeah.
Hopefully he's just a dentist.
He's talking about a casino. They've got the all small tall and the fire bet.
I love that.
He's saying 5:30 in the morning. Oh yeah, only 2 tables were open. That's great. 2 craps tables.
Boy, that's hard to find in Vegas.
Yeah, really.
Right?
Sometimes
Caesar's Palace in Vegas, 5:30 in the morning, 1 table.
1 table, yeah.
1 table.
No, I agree.
Yeah, 2 tables open. That's great.
All right, we might have to hit there. Hollywood, Baltimore. All right, next call is from Steve. The audio is a little rough, but he's got some good information here.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Steve from Chatham, Ontario, phoning. Just in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and I was staying at Bally's. Now, we usually like to go to the Diamond Lounge and stuff, but it was early in the afternoon, so me and my girlfriend went down to the sports book. I was putting in a couple of football bets, and I went up to the bar area at the Bally's sports book, and I said, I'm going to get myself a drink here. And the waitress overheard me, and she said, can I grab your card? And I said, sure. And I handed her my player's card, and she said, you're Diamond. And I said, yeah. She said, we've been instructed at all the bars throughout Bally's that Diamond or higher, we're to comp drinks without play, even at the casino bars, because they don't have a Diamond Lounge in Bally's. So I didn't realize that. Maybe it's something everybody else knew, but I just figured if anybody going there didn't know that, hey, she said you could just walk up to the bar, hand them your Diamond card, and they give you a comp drink. No questions asked. She said, but you could only do it once a day at every bar in the casino. So you could hit every bar in the casino for 1 round of drinks. Anyway, I love your show. Keep up the good work, and look forward to next week. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye now.
That's nice.
Yeah, I had not heard that. We had not been familiar with that. I mean, it makes sense, right? They don't have a Diamond Lounge, or I guess they call them Laurel Lounges now.
Right.
But that's where you usually can go and get free drinks when you're Diamond or higher.
Right.
The only thing I'd be concerned about is, does every employee know about this policy, right? It's one of those things where, you go up, I don't know what you're talking about. And
right.
That's always an issue anytime you're dealing with a company and, special circumstances.
Right. Yeah. Boy, if that's not made public in some kind of
like the employee meeting or something,
right? Or just they send out an email to all the members, like, hey, at Bally's you get
to the customers,
to the customers and the employees. It could be a mess, right? Because you'd be going up. It'd be like when you send your buddy up to get a free drink refill, and there are no free drink.
Right,
refills.
it's like a restaurant where they don't have a free drink refills.
Right.
Wow, can you imagine if that had happened to somebody? Oh my gosh,
terrible.
Wow, but I mean, worth a try. So thanks for the information, Steve. Yeah. All right, next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Mike from Charlotte, North Carolina. Quick trip report from Cherokee, North Carolina. Went up. They had 1 Pai Gow poker table, non-commission, $10 minimum. Never played before, so I gave it a shot. Probably played for about an hour. Only lost $20, so that was cool. Question to you guys, since you play Pai Gow a lot, do you do the side bets for like the poker hand and like if you have a Pai Gow with those payouts? And then also, I can't see it as a game you can really walk away with a lot of money unless you're betting big or some kind of system, as you would say. So just wondering how you guys play Pai Gow to actually make some money at it. Also, craps, $10 tables all over. And the thing I found interesting, which I never knew this to be a thing at Cherokee, they will let you actually bet less odds than the table minimum. So for a $10 bet, you could actually do 5 on odds, which for a low roller like me was cool. When the point was 4 or 10, I would just put $5 back there. One other thing about bubble craps, and I was playing around on that for a little bit, $5 bets, but I noticed they had a sticker on it that said 1 tier credit for every $20 wagered. So I was looking at it, and my tier credits, I was not getting any credits, and the machine actually malfunctioned, so I had to call an attendant over. And I asked her about it. She's like, oh, yeah, they changed it. They had a new sticker on it. So to get 1 tier credit, you had to wager $200. which I think is crazy. So if trying to get tier credits, bubble craps, good luck. Anyway, that's it. Love the show, guys. Keep it up.
Yeah, one for every $200 you bet. Just go to a regular craps table.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, we know there are some bubble craps machines where you can't earn any credits.
Right.
Right. You know,
right.
It says,
We've
even on the
seen
machine,
that.
it says that. So, yeah, that's not the way to do it.
You know, it's funny. Bubble craps really varies.
As far as rules and
amounts you can bet and tier credits. And I mean, everything really varies. Craps tables may vary a little, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not a lot. I mean, you know, the hard eight's always going to pay 9
Basically,
for
it's just
one,
the minimum. What's the minimum at the
Right,
table? That's how
right.
it's different.
Yeah, that's how it's different. But boy, bubble craps, it's crazy.
Yeah, there are a lot of different ways that the casino can set it, apparently.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, it'll depend on the casino, but some casinos will allow you to bet less than the table minimum on your odds. In fact, here in Southern California is that way. A lot of times you and I will be playing at a $25 table, which is a little high for me, so I'll only take $10 odds.
Yeah.
Or sometimes
some weird number.
Or $6 odds if
Yeah.
it's a 5 or 9
It'll
or
be some
$36 odds. Yes.
Usually some weird number. And the dealers look at you like, what?
Yeah, I'm getting a reputation for having odd amounts on my odds. Yes, that's true. As far as Pai Gow Poker goes, you probably already know the answer to this. I don't make the side bets. Mike always makes the side bets.
Yeah. That's where all the fun is.
Yeah.
As far as winning lots of money on, I don't know. I was playing a $25 table and won 17,000 once. I started with 25 and ended up my last bets being in the $500 range.
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing is you started with $25 maybe, but then you increased your. Yeah, if you're going to make money at Pai Gow Poker, you need to bet a lot of money,
right?
And that's what we used to do.
You know, we were having a good run and we were
Yeah.
making money, and pretty soon we were making. I'll bet 100, and then you're
Yeah.
winning those. You can get on runs where
Yeah.
you make lots of money.
That was back in the day when the casinos could not bank their games. There was
Right.
no craps. Even blackjack was player banked, and they had weird rules. So that's pretty much all we played was Pai Gow Poker. And
Right.
when we made a lot of money, it was because we were risking a lot of money.
We
Yeah.
were risking
Yeah.
a lot of money,
Yep.
but usually we're risking money that we had already won that day.
Sure. Well, anytime you're kind of building upon your
wins,
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's hear from old Vinny Chens.
Hey, you can bet on that. It's Vinny Chen from 7 Out. Wanted to call because I have a little bit of a confession. I'm feeling a little bit guilty. I know you guys, at least when the Chargers were in San Diego, were Chargers fans. And, you know, going into the NFL season this year, I'm not going to lie, I was down on the Chargers a bet. I put a pretty big bet on them to not make the playoffs at plus 170. Thought it was pretty good odds. I'm still up in the air, obviously. Way too early to tell. But the fact of the matter, it's keeping me up at night. I feel bad going against you guys. You know, my favorite podcast here and what kind of got me started in podcasting. So as maybe a karma donation or just a token of appreciation, I want to kind of throw a free roll on my team, my favorite team, who seems to be doing pretty well. Have a ton of bets on them to win the Super Bowl. So I'm going to throw out there just a free $250 free roll karma donation. If the Cowboys can get it done and win the Super Bowl here in 2019. So again, I hope this alleviates some of that guilt and lets me sleep well at night. Thanks again for joining the Superior Art Podcast Pool. Really appreciate you guys being in it. And please just keep doing what you do. We all love it. Thanks so much.
Wow, thanks, Vinny.
Yeah, thanks.
Boy, there are a lot of
the Cowboys are a good team.
Yeah,
this year.
I mean, there are a lot of reasons to not root for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You know, my whole life. Well, now I've got a reason to root for the Cowboys.
Your sister's favorite team is the Cowboys.
No, I know. I know it is. Yeah,
So
that's true.
I don't know that you ever root against them. I mean, she's
yeah.
a diehard Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Vinny. You won your Charger bet. Let me just tell you right now. You go to the casino and collect right now. And if they give you any grief that the season's not over, say, look, I won this bet. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
When they lost last weekend, let's assume to get in the playoffs, you need to be 10-6.
Okay.
The 9-7 probably isn't going to make it this
Okay.
year in the AFC.
Okay, sure. All right.
So the Chargers already have 2 losses. They still have to play Kansas City twice.
right.
So that's 4 losses.
Right.
So of the remaining 11 games, they can only lose 2,
right.
which means they have to go 9 wins and 2 losses.
Okay.
No way that's happening.
Okay. All right.
There's no way. So I'm going on record, and I'm a Charger fan, although I may not be after this weekend because I told Mark, and I, in all honesty, if they lose to the Miami Dolphins this weekend, I'm done with the
I'm
Chargers.
glad you're saying this on the show because I was going to call you out. We were texting during the game, and you did. I was saying, Mike, you got to dump this team because longtime listeners know I'm not a Charger fan anymore. It's not like I hate them. It's just, hey, I live in San Diego. We don't have a team, right?
Right.
But you've stayed with them. I said you got to dump this team when they started to choke in this last game.
No, I said, now if they beat Miami, I'm still going to be a fan.
All right, yes.
But they're not making the playoffs. I guarantee it, because there's no way they're going 9-2, and I can't see them beating Kansas City here or there.
Yeah.
And they'll probably lose to Denver.
Here
and Denver.
or there. I like how you say here or there. First
Here
of all,
meaning Los Angeles.
Oh, and it's not even Los Angeles, it's Carson. And that's not even their home turf because it's always an away game with all the opposing fans.
Mark texts me every week before the game. Oh, another away game for the Chargers. Whether they're in Carson or Baltimore or wherever they are, it's always an away game.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, though, I love Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, see, I
Phillip
like
Rivers-
a lot of the
Phillip
players.
Rivers
That
is a stud. That guy, I mean, he's a great person and a good football player. And, you know, they have a lot of great players on their team. They have a lot of nice guys that should be rooted for because they're genuinely good people. But boy, as a team and the owner, you put those two together, it's rough.
Yep. All right, so we're all rooting for Miami this weekend, I guess.
I know. Now I'm going to have the whole country rooting for Miami. It'll be their only win of the season. If I remember correctly, I think Cleveland only won
pulled
one,
that on the
one-
Chargers.
yeah.
Yep.
I think Cleveland only had one win that year.
All right, next call.
Hey guys, it's Jeff from Los Angeles, and I just wanted to tell you about a strategy I've been playing that I really enjoy. I'm a low roller, so I go to like $5, $10 tables, and I'm placing a $12 6 and 8, and I'm just going to focus on one number at a time to tell this to you simply. Let's do 6. So if a 6 hits, they owe me $14. I drop them $4 more and say, take me to 30 on that 6. If it hits again, I'll go to $60. They will actually give me back 5. So now I got a $60 6, and it only cost me $11. If it hits again, I'm coming down with everything for $130, which is great for only investing, $11 in it at that time. I know this doesn't happen all the time, or, it's kind of hard to hit 3 numbers straight, but it happens, I'm telling you. And when it does, it's a good windfall of money for what I put into it. I know I didn't figure anything out, it's just math, but you said recently on one of your shows that place bets versus come bets. The come bets should, make you more money in the long run. Well, they have to hit their number twice. By the time I hit mine twice, I don't collect, but I only invested $11 out of pocket, and I got a $60 on one of those numbers. If it hits again, I get $130. I really like this way of playing. I've done very, very well recently. I often cash out for 2 or 3 times what I bought in for. Just a strategy. I hope I explained it well. What do you guys think about it? And keep up the good work. Thanks. Bye.
So I'm absolutely fine with that strategy. That's
No,
that's a fun way to play.
It's a good strategy.
Small investment, you get a couple of good rolls. Yeah, that's
You're
fine.
going for a good roll.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're going for kind of a hot shooter. I do want to say a couple things. Number one, come bets don't win more than place bets in the long run. They lose less. I just want to make that clear, right? We're playing a negative EV game.
There is a very good distinction there.
Okay, so, and that's just the math. Now, I've said this before. Okay, with come bets, no, the number doesn't have to hit twice. Okay, the first time that a box number is rolled, that just determines what needs to be rolled for that bet to win. See, it doesn't need to be rolled twice because it doesn't need to be rolled that first time.
Right.
Right. If you make a place bet on a 6 and the shooter never rolls a 6, well, your come bet on the 6 doesn't lose because it never went up there.
Right.
Now, I know, this is kind of all semantics and everything, but again, bottom line, the math I can fall back on. You will lose less money making come bets than place bets.
In the long run.
But again, I'm not encouraging you to do one or the other, and I never would, because I know place bets can be more fun. There are plenty of times when
they
I
are
play
more
place bets,
fun.
right?
Yeah.
So the strategy is fine. Whatever gives you the most enjoyment at the table. And yeah, this is not bad. You catch 3 6s and you only risked $11 and you win a ton.
That's not a bad way to play.
No, it's fine.
It's just for me, it'd be too boring. Just having two numbers like a 6 and an 8.
Oh, I see. And pulling the bets down.
And
You
pulling
need
the
more
bets
action.
down.
Yeah, Mike is more like, give me everything across and press once each time. Or
Right.
you know.
Well, the thing is, see, during a hot roll, he gets to the point where he's made 3 6s and 3 8s. He has no more bets.
Yeah, sure.
What does he do then? Does he just sit and wait for the rest of the roll?
Or maybe the 7 out comes right then. Hot roll. What's a hot roll? You don't know it's a hot roll till it's over, right? So,
It's just this. The feeling for me is much better when I've got them all to the house max.
yeah. All right. So, Jeff, Dr. Mike might not play this way, but I think your strategy is fine.
Well, strategy's good. I like it. I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Personally.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Next call.
Hey guys, how's it going? Alan Williams out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Got a little trip report here. Went to Hollywood Casino, second time ever being there, and second time ever playing crapless craps. So I did something that I don't quite frequently do. The guy had established a point of 2, and he was probably a half hour into his roll already, and he was hitting all kinds of numbers. I was up quite a bit. Point was 2. I took about $50 in odds on that 2. I was kind of nervous because it's a 2. Anyways, he'd been rolling, hitting different numbers, hadn't hit the 2 yet, and all of a sudden I just decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and hop this 2. So I hopped 2 for $10, and boom, hit the 2. $300. Man, I was so excited. It was great. Man, by the time I finally cashed out, I colored up for $1,300 off my $100 buy-in. So far on my 2 crapless craps sessions, I'm up about $2,000, and I'm starting to be a convert to crapless craps. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
See, now Alan knows how to play craps, right? Alan is the devil to Jeff's angel. And that's what is fun for him, right? He says, I'm going to hop to 2, and 2 comes up. Nice.
And boy, if you're at a crapless craps table and people are making those weird points, the 2, 3, 11, and 12, and you're taking odds, that's going to be good too, because he won $300 on that hop bet. Right. But if he had $50 odds and he kept it back there, that also pays $300 because it's 6 to 1 on the odds when the point is 2.
That's a $600 roll.
Yeah. Single
you make
roll.
$600 on some roll. Yeah, pull down your $15 or whatever on some number. I'll take the 600 on that one roll.
Hey, you can make a living at that. 600 every roll.
600 every roll.
That's good advice.
It's you sound like me when we come home from the casino and I tell Lynn, if I could just win like 3,000 or 4,000 every time I go, I would never have to work again. I could make a living at this. And she just nods and smiles appropriately.
It's just one of those things that, boy, that's probably the most uninteresting thing I've ever heard.
Right.
Yeah, boy, I wish I could fly. Yeah, really.
Well, I've got to say it. It just makes me feel good to say it. Just like, saying I wish I could fly. I don't really wish I could fly.
It'd be rough. Yeah.
Flying would be too hard. I'd much
scary.
rather be able to see the future.
Ooh, I don't know about that either.
Yeah, no, just like 3 minutes into the future.
Oh, yeah, 3 minutes ahead. Yeah,
3 minutes ahead. I don't want to see the way future.
Yeah.
I just want 3 minutes into the future.
Okay, good.
And then, at some point I'm going to, 3 minutes from now I'm dead.
Eventually that'll happen.
Yeah,
hey, I can't see anything. Maybe I should just go to the hospital right now. I'm 5 minutes away. All right.
No, I'm at the craps table. I'm not leaving.
That's where you want to die.
Yeah, right on the table. Either that or the hallway of my office. Those are my choices.
All right. Next up is Neil.
Hello, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Neil from Riverside coming in with the tiniest of trip reports. We were up camping in Mammoth in the Sierra. They have that little Paiute Palace Casino in Bishop. And so I convinced my buddies to stop. If you sign up, you get $25 free play. If you've already and you have a fishing license, you get $10 free play. Or if you have a hunting license, you get $10 free play. And so we pulled all our money, went to the 3-coin-in dollar slot machine. Everyone pulled their money and cashed out, I think, 28 real dollars. So that was fun. And then on the way back, I stopped because I forgot I had some chips in my pocket, and I played some blackjack. And wouldn't you know, deep into the first shoe I was playing, a 6X shoe, and not counting but noticing a bunch of the face cards were gone, the dealer busting with 8 cards, and I just was astonished. I'd never seen an 8-card bust from the dealer. And then I remembered you guys talked about that Buster Blackjack, and so it made me start to think about what the payoff would have been. Thank you guys so much. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I know it was a little hard to hear. He was talking about the Paiute Palace Casino.
Right, it's in Bishop.
It's up, in Central California. Yeah, 8 cards to bust in Buster Blackjack. It sounded like they didn't even offer the bet there, but that bet pays 250 to 1. Right. 8 or more cards. Right. That's like the highest
I've hit 7,
payout.
but I've never hit 8.
Yeah,
that's hard to do.
Need a lot of aces and deuces,
and
then
sure
a 6
do.
right at the end, right? You hit to
Right.
16 and then a 6.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm laughing because when he said 28 real dollars, now when somebody says 28 real dollars, for me, and this may tell a lot about me, I think of real as REEL.
Really?
As opposed to REAL.
Okay, like real dollars, like the kind that you can
slot
spend it.
real, yeah. I don't know why.
What I'm thinking of is when you talk to a gambler, 28 real dollars, it's, $28, that's not 28 real dollars. But when you say to a gambler, 28 real dollars, real dollars.
Yeah.
Not free play, real
You're
dollars.
not real.
That's just a gambling term.
That's like you telling me the other day, I'm still laughing about this. I should like the word action because it's a gambling term.
Yeah,
like you got
should.
action on the game?
Got action. Yeah, that's right. Hey, you want some of this tomato juice action? Got it right here for you.
Oh, God. And then my wife and I are just thinking of all the terms that are used in gambling that have meaning somewhere else in life. And we don't ever think of them except for gambling. We've got a problem.
Yeah, I know we do. All right, last call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Jamie, Nashville. Just a quick trip report. Just got back from Harrah's, Cherokee in North Carolina. Very nice room, well appointed, seemed to be recently renovated. Very nice. Interesting to some here might be that as we saw the GTE Expo in 2018, a roll to win crap system. Well, this is the first one I've seen actually installed in a casino. It's got a glass top. One dealer who's just a stick man, and you can still throw it, and everything is electronic. There's no chips. You have a console similar to the Shoot to Win bubble craps machine. It looks like they're getting ready to turn it on. They had it all lit up, but I think they still have some training to do on it before they start. But I would say within the next couple of days, they'll have that up and running. Anyway, Harrah's, Cherokee, very nice place. I'd recommend it if anybody is in the western North Carolina, mid-south area. Thanks very much, guys. Love your show. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, those roll to win craps tables, doggone it. I heard that they had one at the Link or O'Shea's, and I didn't even think to look for it when I was there recently.
Well, we're going in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we should check.
Look.
It's like the best of both worlds, right? It's an electronic display. So, you put your money in, you make your picks just like Shoot to Win, but then somebody actually throws dice. Yeah. So if you don't like the concept of the bubble craps, the pop-o-matic dice, at least you're still rolling. So it'd be interesting to see if this catches on. Plus, you might like it better than bubble craps because it's not an automatic roll. So you would have time to make your bets, which is something you don't like about Shoot to Win, right? It's how fast it goes.
Yeah. It goes too fast for me. I can't make enough bets.
Yeah.
And, I do like the pop-up bubble crap thing, though.
Okay.
Because it reminds me of when you're a child and we called them popcorn machines. I don't know what they are, but it's like...
It's like a pop-o-matic.
Yeah, it's
That's what you're talking about. The games, right?
No. It's a big stick. When you're real little, like you're an infant or you're 2 years old.
Oh, yeah, and you push those things.
You push that thing, and it pops up the
pops
little
up all
balls.
the balls. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
When you're like 2, you love that. You just push that thing and pop.
And then when you're 5, you're like running as fast as you can down the hall.
It just drives your parents crazy because it's loud and noisy and you're running around with it.
Oh, yeah, those are fun.
Those are good.
All right. Well, the summit is coming up. In fact, our next episode is going to drop when we are on our way to the summit on that Thursday. Tim and Eric from The Better Life announced a craps meetup on Friday, October 11th at 12:30 at Golden Gate.
Okay.
So I don't think it's something that they've coordinated with the casino. Maybe they have. I don't know.
They should coordinate it with it because somebody should, either them or us, or because they need to have 2 tables open.
Hopefully they.
There's gonna be.
Usually they do. Well, they've kind of rearranged things there. We're going to have to. It's probably different from when we were there. But anyway,
All right.
12:30 Golden Gate that Friday. It'll be October 11th during the summit, basically before all of the official summit events start. A meetup, craps meetup there at Golden Gate.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First of all, recurring donations from Nathan, from Brian Dancer, from Joshua, and from Brian and Sarah, who we're going to see at the summit, is my understanding. So thanks for those recurring donations. Also, a donation from Chaz Gator. Good morning, Mark and Dr. Mike. Here's a karma donation for a work trip to Las Vegas today, September 12th. Thank you for all that you do. I love your show. Your pal, Chaz Gator. P.S. My last karma donation appeared to work as my wife and I hit 2 $10,000 Royals during our July trip to celebrate her 50th birthday.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow, that's a good birthday.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I didn't get crap on my 50th.
No. I think
You poked me in the eye with the stick.
I think that's what I did on your 50th birthday. Yeah. Also, a donation from Josh. Thanks for responding to my email about tipping a host. Here's a karma donation for my September 21st trip to Vegas, which will likely have happened by your next show. Thanks for sharing your love of gambling with all of us. So hopefully you had some good luck, Josh.
I hope so.
Also, a donation from Chris from Round Rock, Texas. Karma donation for a guy's trip next week. Wish me luck gambling on football and at the craps table. Maybe I'll see Dr. Mike. No, Mike didn't make his September trip.
I didn't make it,
But
no.
hopefully you had a good trip, Chris.
God, I've got so many offers in October, November, December. I mean, literally every weekend.
Sure.
Big offers and things I really want to get, but I just can't go every weekend. not to Vegas. I mean, I can go to Harrah's and Rincon, but...
Also, a donation from James from Long Island. Karma donations. I head to Vegas this weekend in hopes of playing a few hard sixes. Thanks for all the podcast entertainment and being so gracious when meeting up in San Diego. Also, a donation from Brent from Michigan. Long overdue donation to help you with a great podcast. Been listening for years and always loved the home poker game talk where you explained one game. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while just because we ran out of games.
Well, don't you have one in the hopper somewhere?
I probably do if I look. Yeah, I came across a new one. Maybe we'll do that.
Let's make an effort to do that.
Okay, all right, we'll do that. If there's any change left over with this donation, please apply it to the Karma Fund for tomorrow's trip to Firekeepers and my October 3rd trip to Mandalay. Sorry, I'll miss you guys when you're in Vegas the following week. Good luck at the tables and thanks for all the entertainment. Thank you very much, Brett. Also, a donation from Bill. Karma donation for the summit. First time going to a podcasting event. Wish me luck. Oh,
we'll see you
nice.
there.
We'll see you there.
We'll bring the luck.
That's right.
We're bringing it, baby.
And finally, a donation from Jim from New York, our buddy. Mark and Dr. Mike, congrats on making it to year number 8 as the premier recreational gambling podcast. That's a hard 8 because nobody likes a soft one. Anyway,
That's what I hear.
Good luck at the Summit 2019. Yeah, we just celebrated I didn't realize our 7th anniversary of this show. So we're into our 8th year now. Hard to believe.
Ridiculous.
Yes, crazy. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listing showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program that searches through all the raw American TV data. Just go to youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail line at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat, especially when we're in Vegas for the summit. We will tweet our location, so come meet up with us. And on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. What do you got for us tonight, Dr. Mike?
Well, last night when I was at Harrah's Rincon, we were playing craps, and at a slot machine, not particularly near us and certainly not in visual sight.
Okay.
All of a sudden, this lady screams. I mean, and it's a scream that the whole casino could hear.
Yeah.
Like, ah, ah, ah. And she's just going wild, right? So Rehan ran over there to see what happened. You know, it was like, Rehan, go check it out.
Yeah.
So she went over. The lady won $4,200, $4,200.
Okay.
So, you know, that's not a huge amount of money.
Well, I mean,
but
who knows? It might be for her.
For her, it probably was, right? The way she was reacting. But as I'm driving home, I'm thinking about this lady. And, you know, it occurs to me, if we won $4,200, which we have many times at a craps table, or
at a craps table. Well, I don't know about maybe you've won many times. That would be a huge win for me. I don't maybe twice.
Yeah, but we've won.
All right, yeah,
4,200. I mean, or more.
Okay,
and you know we're excited and happy, but we're not screaming. I mean, she literally screamed. I mean, that casino's pretty big, Mark.
Yeah,
and everyone in the place turned. I mean, I've never heard anyone scream that loud, and it was for a while. I mean, it was. She went on for like a minute.
Yeah,
you know, I thought either somebody died or she won like $1 million progressive or something, right?
Right.
But I'm driving home and I'm thinking to myself, what is exciting to one person may just be routine to another, but maybe we should all strive to find what makes us happy.
Okay.
What makes us that excited.
Yeah, all right.
And if it's winning $4,200 on a slot machine, then, you know, go play some slots.
Okay.
So it's just a little life thing. I'm sitting there thinking, you know, we don't try hard enough to get to that moment. She got to that moment. Sounded like, you know, she was doing more than winning slots.
Well, I'd gamble more. That's your advice.
That's
gamble
my
more.
advice.
And I want a lot more screaming from you at the craps table.
And that's the other thing. As I was driving, thinking I should scream more.
Yeah, you really should.
Like I don't.
I've thought that my whole life.
What was I screaming the other night? Oh, winner. On every roll that wasn't a 7,
that's right.
I screamed winner.
Yeah.
And all the other tables were looking
yeah.
over thinking we had hit 5 to the fire, 6 to the fire. No, just another 5 came up.
All right. We'll see you at the summit. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
Oh, sweet mother, I love you, Dr. Mike.